Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Xinfin Network, aka XDC, and today we have quite a bit of things to talk about, more so around, of course, digitization. A lot of this, I'm sure that, a few of you are probably aware of from my last couple videos on XDC, but we're actually going to go a little bit more in depth and really kind of, talk more so about some documents around digitization that I found. So, within XDC, we are still ranging around the 2 to 3 cent zone. Not a lot has changed here, except for the fact that we have pumped massively. I shouldn't even say massively. I mean, it's like fractions of a cent, to be completely honest with you, and it looks huge. But on the 3 month span, you guys do see, like, we have been just ranging within this area. Honestly, I'm just kind of, taking this market day by day, really kind of just accumulating when I can, not rushing any buy orders or anything like that. I do, like, I always say, like, try to position yourself in this market for when, like, if we do pump, great, you made money. And if we do, drop in price, you have fiat on the sidelines to buy. Being able to hedge neutral, that way you are prepared for whatever, is the biggest key to success within this market. So I just want to let you guys know, like, right now, the way that I'm playing this market is, like, we are seeing this major move in this market to, like, the upside as everybody's getting excited. I'm still in my positions, but I do have fiat on the sidelines in case we do have a major pullback, which I am expecting to see. So with that in mind, let's move on and let's talk about a few things. So first off, I want to share with you guys the ICC, which I'm sure that a lot of you are probably aware of if you do, pay attention to the, XDC content. And we do see here from Dennis on Twitter. XDC ICC United Kingdom recently launched the ICC Center for Digital Trade and Innovation, the implementation of open systems based on common international standards and a digital trade system that is paperless, sustainable, and secure. And yes, we are moving towards this. I think that around, like, a lot of the digitization within crypto, we are going to be seeing a few markets actually be fully, disrupted by the digitization process. And I do think that trade documents and trade finance is, like, the biggest area to really kind of focus on right now from XDC. Of course, just XDC. We also look at, like, digitization of the entire financial, infrastructure, which is more so kind of centering around, like, XLM, XRP. Like, a lot of these tokens have their own niche category where they are playing into. And yes, XDC can also, focus on, like, the B2B market, as well as, like, even cross-border payments. But we do see here, like, today, heavily paper, based processes for billion documents circulating in the trade system, digitize the flow of information in trade, all trade documents handled in digital form, which is, like, the future. And of course, like, there's a lot of this, like, you do see, like, the $1.5 trillion trade finance gap persist, outdated laws, no standards, and then of course, like, all over here is, like, interoperability between systems, revised legal framework, increased financial inclusion, which, by the way, this bottom one, like, interoperability between systems, I do think that that is the, main reason why Xinfin has, have that, like, they have that partnership with Quant Network, which is more so, like, kind of, interconnecting the legacy systems to, like, these digital systems to fully, streamline the digitization process. And also over here, we do have, again, another direct connection to ICC. Shout out to Ravikumar, I hope that I'm saying that name right, on Twitter. Around 20 plus big banks and financial institutions, 5 plus institutional funders, investors, family, offices, 2 credit issuers or insurers, sorry, 10 plus, fintechs, as well as ICC, ITFA, WOA, all, are connecting to one and only blockchain network, Xinfin. And we actually do see down here, like, of course, like, a lot of this is speculation in terms of, like, all of them being interconnected. But the reason why I bring this tweet up and the reason why I talk about it is just from the TFDI as well as the ITFA. Like, these are the 2 major players. We do see the XDC network down here. We do see all of the major, like, banks that are already connected here. You do see the ICC here, as well as a few other ones like the World of Open Account. You also do see Trade Tech up there. You see, like, major banks that we've talked about in my past videos. Yeah, like, this is pretty substantial. And of course, like, this is, like, the major global financial institutions and leading service providers around, of course, trade finance. And over here, we do see, Andre Kasserman talking about Trada, the token that we've discussed on multiple occasions, the multi-trillion-dollar trade finance investment class available to every investor by combining two advanced technologies with progressive digital asset policy. Trade finance is becoming investable for the first time ever. And also, yet again, from Andre Kasserman, XDC Tech, brings the most advanced digital asset innovation in trade finance to date and bridges the multi-trillion-dollar trade finance investment class to retail investors space, combining the best of both worlds, traditional banking practices with Xinfin's, of course, tokenization process. And yeah, I think that this is, confirmation as well as a clear focus point on where Xinfin is actually positioned. And Andre Kasserman has been an exclusive player around the Xinfin ecosystem and more so of a pioneer around like trade finance digitization within this ecosystem. And also, shout out to Utility Theory for this. This is more so like the direct connection and exposure to ICC. By the way, with ICC, we've actually had multiple individuals from Xinfin, more so like, founders, CEOs, developers, even some higher tier individuals as well, retweeting, quoting tweets from the ICC, more so about like digitization. Now, this tweet is actually from a little bit of time ago. This is February 10th, 2022. But it still holds up, and it is more crucial than ever now because we're going to be discussing that in this video. But we do see here, like ICC, I believe we are ready. Let's get the global jurisdictions to upgrade their English law so we could use DDoC in supply chain and trade finance. And we do see down here like the connections with ICC. This is from SCAP 75, which we've actually did a little bit of a video on this, accelerating, cross-border paperless trade facilitation. And this is like disruptive technologies applied to cross-border transactions. And over here, we also do see, again, this is Moneta Go. This is talking more so about like cross-border transactions, disruptive technologies applied to it. And then on the next slide here, we do see, a few of the names around this cross-border trade finance disruption. You do see like the Asian Development Bank, SCAP 75, and then of course ICC, blockchain technology for cross-border trade. Accelerating cross-border paperless trade facilitation. And of course, you do see like the direct exposure to Xinfin from Andre Kasserman, ICFA. You also do see here the head of sales and marketing at Anigio, and then MENA region DLT ledgers, and then of course a few other names down here. And we actually see a full-on breakdown. I do advise you to go check out Utility Theory. Does incredible, research and work. But yes, like ICC is moving in on digitization. We've talked about this in my last few videos on tweets like this, which by the way, Andre Kasserman is retweeting because he is playing a pivotal role within this. He has direct exposure to Xinfin because he is on the board of directors, so he understands the technology around it. But we do see here, get ready to go digital. This is from July 18th. English law is changing in 2023. Commercial trade documents will be accepted in digital trade form. So 2023 is a timeline to look forward to. And I think I made a video actually on this specific tweet in the past. But the reason why I bring it back up is going back a little bit in the past, actually. We do see here exclusive ICC targets digital trade legal reform in 100 countries with industry-wide board. 100 countries. This is going to be a global disruption, by the way. We've discussed this and we've actually talked about it quite a bit. Let me zoom in real quick and let me actually zoom out just a little bit. Now, they actually do have Trade Tech over here talking more so about like launching this trade finance assets market place for buy-side investors, as well as, launches trade finance-backed tokens on XDC blockchain. You love to see it. But we do see here the ICC, has formed an advisory board comprising intergovernmental, policy and industry actors in the global trade and finance industry in order to accelerate progress on the worldwide legal reform needed to enable digital trade. No surprise there. And of course, you do see all of the areas that they are, working within. Also, the Asian Development Bank is here, ADB. You also do see a ton of other names as well. More so even like the United Nations Commission on International Trade Law as well. Like these are pretty big names. And of course, ITFA is there yet again. GTR, understands, and no, not a Nissan GTR, understands that 30 organizations in total have agreed to join the board, although these have yet to be announced, which these are probably some pretty large names. I would say that most likely Swift is included in there as well. The aim of the LRAB is to combine its members' reach and influence to drive a globally harmonized digitization or digitized trade environment. We have made enormous progress on legal harmonization over the last 2 years. The LRAB will play a vital role in helping us scale legal reforms. And yeah, they're moving towards this pretty quickly. I would say like by 2023, things are going to change rapidly. And down here, digitization is the key to narrowing the $1.7 trillion trade finance gap. But we can't get there without an enabling legal environment. Reform is needed, and the LRAB will help us scale existing efforts. And this is the head of trade and supply chain finance at the ADB. And World Trade Organization is being mentioned here as well. Pretty interesting. The COVID-19 pandemic massively accelerated digital transformation across a range of sectors, but outdated legal frameworks continue to inhibit the digitization of trade finance. I look forward to working with our co-chairs and LRB members, such as the ADB, to enable necessary legal reform and bring trade finance into the 21st century. And yeah, I definitely do see, like, and by the way, they're saying, like, we expect to see upwards of 100 countries getting on board over the course of, like, 2022 to 2023. And we've actually been seeing a lot of those efforts being streamlined. And talking about ADB, going back to this tweet from Utility Theory, we do see, like, ADB up here with, again, like, all of the major players. And again, like, Andre Kasserman is one to really kind of look forward to, and this is modern approaches to digitization. And practical experiences on trade and supply chain digitization. Now, also talking more so about ICC on their website. Here we have access to trade finance. I zoomed in just for you guys to see. Hopefully this is a little bit clearer, but engaging in world trade holds enormous potential to businesses. Yet many companies, especially small and medium sized enterprises, depend on access to banking services in order to unlock new markets. Trade finance allows companies to mitigate the risk associated with importing or exporting goods and services, permitting world trade to flow in a predictable and secure manner. Trade finance has been a key catalyst of the expansion of international trade in the past century, and bank intermediated transactions now represent more than a third of the world trade, equal to trillions of dollars each year. Pretty substantial. More than simply maintaining our international trading system though trade finance is essential for the future outlook of global growth. SMEs are the backbone of the global economy, representing about 95% of the world's companies and 60% of the private sector jobs, and play a great role in promoting employment and social cohesion. And yeah, I mean, like, this is a pretty large area to look at. And we do see down here, the 2018 ICC Global Survey shows that 60% of banks surveyed have implemented or are in the process of implementing technology solutions to digitize their trade finance operations. However, only 9% of banks reported that the solutions implemented have so far led to the reduction of time and cost in trade finance transactions, meaning that the technology stacks that they are actually, not only adopting in but utilizing is just not cutting it. This is why we look into crypto and blockchain technology, because it actually has the power and potential to disrupt it at the core, and also the efficiencies in terms of like reduction of time and cost are there. And we've actually seen this in terms of the testing that Xinfin has done within trade finance, or I should say, like with trade tech, for an example. Like, this is pretty, pivotal. This is why I do believe that like XDC plays a major role going forward around like trade finance. But with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day or beautiful night. Wherever you guys are on this beautiful world, this has been Nick. Peace out, guys.